It's Nicole Wolf from Canadian Beats, and we are in downtown Barrie, Ontario, and I am joined by Dead Mechanics this afternoon, who reacquaint themselves with us again. They met us a couple months back when they were opening up for Danko Jones, and we did an On the Spot with them, which you can check out on our website. So, who am I standing with here today?
I'm Justin, singer and guitar player.
I'm Jimmy, I play bass.
I'm Jesse, I'm the drummer.
I'm Trevor, I play guitar.
That's awesome. So, as I mentioned, we met you in the wintertime. You were at the Roxy Theatre opening up for Danko Jones, and you've also recently opened up on New Year's Eve for the Sheepdogs. So, lots of amazing things happening in the world of Dead Mechanics right now. We're actually here today to talk about the release of your first full-length album, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So, first of all, how did you guys come together as a band? When did that happen? Where did that happen?
Right here in Barrie, actually. We all grew up here, went to high school together. Jimmy kind of moved back into Barrie and said, "Hey, are you doing anything right now?" And I was like, "No." So it's actually just a three-piece.
Mm-hmm.
Trevor and I have been best friends for a lot of years, and he was living in Ottawa, so when he finished school and came back to Barrie, that was it. It was the four of us from then on.
Awesome. That's great. Now, how did the name Dead Mechanics come to be?
That was Gary, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Gary
a friend
McCartney.
of ours came to a rehearsal, and we didn't even have a name, I don't think, at that point. And we played 3 or 4 songs, and I think he was just like, "This is what your name should be." And we're like, "All right."
It works.
This is the best one we'd had heard at that point. So.
Yeah.
Well, it works. It
Yeah.
works. And I've seen some of the graphics that you've had put out on social media and whatnot have kind of lended themselves well to the Dead Mechanics name.
Yeah, well, we're
It's a
very,
blood spatter.
very fortunate. Trevor's wife actually is a graphic designer, and
Nice.
so
Emily Designs.
Emily Boris,
Creative.
Emily Creative Co.
Little
Little plug,
plug,
but yeah, she's super talented, and I think it really shows that how much of a music lover she is when she does the design work for us.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, for someone who's never heard your sound before, how would you describe your music?
Check it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always say we're a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we like hard, fast rock and roll, and but I think it also lends itself to a lot of other interpretations. Like, we have a pretty broad spectrum of what we listen to, so we try and cut it through in it whenever we can.
Awesome. Now, your latest album, your first full-length album. Let's talk about that.
Broken Cities.
Broken
Yeah.
Cities.
Out now.
Amazing, yeah. And we'll definitely put the links up in the interview, and stay tuned because we're definitely reviewing it this week, and that will go up as well
Awesome.
to
Very
be
nice.
checked out. Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to it all week. It's awesome.
It's a great driving CD.
It really is. I have to listen to a lot of music in my job.
Yeah.
And I've been choosing to put it on every day. So,
Awesome.
So
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
good. It's great music, and it's
Thank
nice
you.
for me
Glad
to
you like
be
it.
able to plug someone local as well. which is
Awesome.
Nice, yeah. So, you've had some help with the recording of this album, some pretty awesome people to work with. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we'd been toying with the idea for a while of a full length, and actually last time we spoke with you guys, that whole process was actually going down in the background, and we kind of decided on a studio at a Newmarket called Slip One Digital. Super intimate and cool little studio, kind of out of the way, and I think we drove past it the first time we went there, and
Right.
but once you get inside, it's really nice. And yeah, we brought in a couple friends to kind of help us out. We brought in Greg and Brent Lee from the Alpacas,
Yeah.
who to do some
Absolutely.
vocal work and some guitar work, and also brought in Carly Akins to help lend her vocal talents to a track, which was a pretty big departure for us in
Absolutely.
terms of our music. So that song actually almost didn't even make the album, but we kind of pulled it together at the end, and I think it turned out great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had Joel Dalton on a few songs as well, keyboards and trumpets.
Keyboards, and those are live trumpets that you're hearing. So he actually came in and laid those tracks down, I think in like 4 or 5 takes is all it took. So
Amazing.
And Brandon, don't forget about Brandon.
yeah, that's another thing. We worked with a really young, pretty new kind of producer slash engineer, and we kind of talked about it and said, yeah, let's give him a shot. His name's Brandon Stadnick, and the kid is just, I think he's like 21. He's like
He's
the most
awesome. Yeah.
most
just amazing.
professional
The best.
guy that we've really worked with one-on-one like that. And if you don't know his name now, but you will for sure. Like you're gonna see his name on a lot of album credits. So
That's great.
yeah.
It's really important to find the right producer to work with, because there's often a disconnect between what's in your brain and what you want to hear, and to be able, to communicate with your producer or your engineer what you want to hear, and for them to
Yeah,
that together.
and I think when you have 4 personalities, it really, the way I work, maybe necessarily isn't the way that they would work. So I need a producer who's like, nope, that's not good enough. Do it again. That's what I like. And I think he was kind of the perfect mix of, telling us what would sound good and also being open to our ideas as well. So it worked out really well.
That's awesome. Now, you had your album release party here in Barrie at the Fox, which is an awesome venue.
It was a long night.
Shane Heath,
Yeah.
Fox, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. We've covered quite a few shows there. Now, you had the Alpacas actually performing with you guys that night, and for the Birds as well.
Yeah.
We were very lucky.
I
that
hear
way.
it was a sold-out show.
Yeah, it was sold out. Everything you could hope for in a rock show. Cops showed up. People got kicked out, and it was an epic night. I mean, I think it was probably the first true encore that we've ever done. I mean,
Great.
no one left after we played. So the nice thing
good
is
night.
too, we're good friends with the Alpacas. So
Yeah.
we got them up on stage and kind of blew the doors off the place. I don't know. It was like my own mom couldn't even get into the show. She had to pay the doorman. So
Wow.
yeah. So it was a good night.
That's awesome. And another cool thing that's happened to you recently, you were actually featured on our local radio station, Rock 95. They have the New Rock Hour with Noah.
Yeah.
You guys were featured on that just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like 2 weekends in a row. Noah's a good friend and
Great supporter. Of
great
the local
supporter.
scene.
And he's a pretty epic guy, and he has great taste in music, so it works out.
That's
I
awesome.
think he's had us on there about 2 or 3 times
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
So it's, great honor.
Now, from your new album, what's your favorite song to perform on stage?
Spaghetti Fight.
Now, why
Still,
that
eh?
one?
Just because it's short and quick, to
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah,
Good song.
that's awesome.
I like Broken Cities. That's one of our new ones. And it's fun, it's different, it's hard to play, so we have to pay attention to each other.
Yeah, same answer for sure.
Yeah,
Same reasons.
I think for me too, it's the title track off the record, and it's kind of a theme that has
All those
been
spaghetti
in
songs.
my head for a long time, and and I think it does really force us to be super cohesive. I mean, we're all if you see us play, we're constantly just kind of giving little head nods back and forth in that one. So
Right. Now, what's the theme behind that song?
that was a song that actually came together pretty quick. I kind of wrote it. It's kind of about coming home, and where you grew up kind of changes, but realistically, you're the one who's changed. You know what I mean? For me, writing it lyrically, that was kind of my thought behind it.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
didn't
we've
even know
never
that.
even talked about that before.
No.
Actually, I don't think so.
Did come together super fast.
Yeah.
A matter
Yeah.
of 2 jams, and I think
It
the
was-
song was.
Well, that's sometimes a
much
sign
polished.
of a great song, right?
Yeah, it was pretty clear right away that was going to be, the title track for sure.
That's great. Now, do you find that you go into the studio and you record the album, and you've got at your disposal all this equipment, and you can layer sounds? You find it's difficult to translate that to a live performance on the stage, to keep that full
Not
sound?
really. We do a lot of demoing. We record a lot of our practices, and then we kind of get to listen back to that a lot, and we really kind of hear the songs that way in our heads. So when we write them and envision what it's going to be like in the studio, it's actually just really based on our live performance. So it's a pretty easy fit that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had. I think when we went in, we were super prepared. We were under a pretty aggressive schedule, so we had to kind of know exactly what we were going to do going in there. I mean, we knocked out 9 songs in like 6 days.
Amazing.
So it was pretty epic recording session, but.
That's great.
But yeah, it makes it easier, when you do try and play it live. You can't always get trumpets and stuff like that up there, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same.
That's great. That's
And
great.
the studio's unforgiving too. When you
It
make a
really
mistake in the
is.
studio, you have to do it again.
Yeah.
Whereas live, when it happens, you sort of say, ha,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just keep going.
That's right. the fun of being on stage, though, right? It's in
Yeah,
the moment, and
exactly.
that's the way it should be.
There's a freedom there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big studio guy. Jimmy really likes the studio. I prefer to play live. I think it's like Jesse was saying, because it is unforgiving, when, especially as a singer, when you're hearing the playback and your vocals are it's just you singing. You can beat yourself up pretty quick.
It's
Say, man, I sound
Every
good.
flaw is exposed like
Right.
right away.
That's
so.
right. And if you're not on click,
That's true. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Do it
It's
over.
true, for sure. Now, another cool thing that's happened to you guys since we spoke last was you were actually part of 97.7 Hits FM's talent search, I guess. they
Yeah.
call it,
Yeah, the rock search.
Yeah.
That
The
was
rock
fun.
search, yeah. And you made it through a couple rounds of elimination.
We,
Top 8, I think.
Yeah, we had no expectations. I mean, we literally applied for that the night before closing. There was a little pushing from our manager. I mean, I wasn't 100% sold on it, but he said, you know what, let's just get something mastered and send it in and see what happens. And
Yeah.
yeah, just like that, we made the top 8. Well, we had I think there was one round of voting. And
Oh,
then,
there was the top 16.
yeah,
and then-
top 16, then the
Then we
top
got
8.
to play in the top 8, which was a lot
Yeah,
of fun,
Niagara
too.
Falls. It was a fun night.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you've had a pretty amazing, 6 months since we've talked last. There's, as to mention again, Sheepdog, Stanko Jones, new album.
Yeah.
Lots of cool things happening. How are you going to top it in the second half of 2016?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
Band for hire.
We
Yeah,
might
we had,
we play
definitely
birthday
want to
parties.
get out there and play some shows.
Yeah.
Support this album and yeah.
Yeah, looking to play as much as we can. I mean, we took a little bit of time off after the CD release, just kind of regroup a bit. And like I said, we've got a manager now who kind of deals with those types of things. But
Yeah.
we're going to support the album as much as we can. And I think a
We're
video
already,
too.
Yeah, some videos coming down the
Yeah,
pipeline.
some videos coming in the pipeline, so stay tuned
And,
for that.
Right.
yeah,
A whole
we're
bunch of
already
new
writing
songs.
new
I was
songs.
just
So,
gonna
Yeah,
say
we-
new songs.
Yeah.
Amazing.
so yeah,
Yeah.
fun never stops.
It never does.
No.
Absolutely. Now, in 20 words or less, describe Dead Mechanics for me. We've done this before. Let's do it again.
I think we were terrible at this last time.
Yeah,
Part 2.
I'll say, we're fun, dirty, sweaty rock and roll music is kind of what we aim to do. We like to party.
That's good.
Pretty much
That's
it.
about 20.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
about
good.
20.
Who doesn't want to party at a rock show and get dirty and
Yeah,
sweaty?
I mean isn't that why we're all here?
Absolutely.
I think the Cleans of the Stone Age don't like that stuff.
Yes, the Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us again today. Stay tuned to Canadian Beats. We'll have that album review and the link for you, so you can go and download your very own copy of that. It's of course available on all the
Everywhere,
outlets.
all streaming, iTunes, wherever you buy your music.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp as well. Plug that.
Bandcamp's always a good way to go, right? If you don't know where to get it from, Bandcamp, all the proceeds go directly to these guys,
There
which
you go.
is always a good way to go, for sure.
Yeah.
So, thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank
and
you,
we look
Nicole.
forward
Thank
to
you,
catching
Nicole.
a show in the future.
Awesome.
This has been Nicole Wolf from Canadian Beats, and we'll catch you next time.
Madness!